Hey Taurus, welcome, welcome. This is a general reading dealing with the heart chakra, right? You could tell me right now is a time when your fiery emotional side is the most active. You could tell me right now you're finding a way. I'm sorry, hair in my mouth. Disgusting. Sorry about that. But you could tell me you're finding a way right now to find stability in your emotions, right? You could tell me too that there is a feminine, or you could be a feminine energy in your life right now that is extremely unappreciated. And you can tell that that's not something that you're doing. You can tell that, right now, and you could tell me that the physical block right now is something that you're contractually connected to, like a community or like a way of life or a group of some sort is keeping you from being able to be with this divine feminine in the way that you want to. And even though this card here is present, that you feel like I have found the one my soul loves, right? You could tell me that this person is not only taking you on spiritual ascension journeys, but also like that you already were in personal spaces of not wanting to just, just like, how can I say this? All right, and because also the hottest love has the coldest end here too. You could tell me that you're not in a place right now of taking a bunch of advances towards this feminine, which is causing this feminine to feel unappreciated, my divine masculines. You could tell me that you're in a space now where it's like, yo, I'm not really giving so much effort. I'm not really throwing so much paint on this canvas. I'm kind of just allowing the picture to come through on its own, especially since I feel like I found the one my soul loves, right? You could tell me that. But also on the spiritual side, you could tell me that this gets you hot. Like Archangel Michael with the first chakra is here down in the root. And you could tell me that this person is not only taking you on a journey of self-ascension and growth, but also like a spiritual kind of vibe too, and that you are low-key impatient to be connected to the divine feminine or the feminine in your life, right? So let's see what's up. What's the woman holding the coin? I have the strength card and the devil reverse. Yeah, so it's like on both ends, both my feminines and masculines watching this, my Taurus masculine and feminines, you could tell me that this connection makes you feel weak in a way that reminds you of a lot of toxic connections in the past. Both of y'all can tell me like, yo, like this is, I don't know if this is the direction I should be going in. I don't know if I should show this more appreciation. I don't know if this is the last beautiful thing that still exists after a huge fire. And I say that because the appreciation card in reverse is here. Everything else around her is dead except for that one plant that she was able to draw a flower from. So it's like an appreciation of life that still exists after fire with the strength card and the double reverse. So you could tell me very much so that, this is one of them things where you do want it, but you're not sure if this is where you should go. Is it one of them hot, fiery loves that have a crashing end? Or is it really, truly a soulmate, right? Both my feminine and masculine energies could be thinking this way. So for my divine feminine, you could tell me right now you've been focusing on art. You could be a singer, a dancer, or something dealing in the entertainment industry. And you could tell me that you feel a bit emotionally imbalanced at the moment, that you feel like your healing processes have been like kind of sort of truncated or stopped in a way, and it's dealing with a connection or a partnership and completion of such. You could tell me that that's exactly what your goal is, that you've been investing in something and you're not necessarily sure if it's going to have a beginning or a fresh start, or if you should continue to give attention to this, right? Let's get advice for that, for how you currently feel right now. My divine feminines, the Three of Swords in reverse and the Ace of Pentacles reverse. My phone is dying. There we go. And the Ace of Pentacles reverse with the Five of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. It's like if you do let this go, you could tell me you've been in a process of already disconnecting from a lot of things on the spiritual ascension kind of vibe for my divine feminines, which is why you are translating this pain that you've experienced into art. And you could tell me that you feel like you're being blocked from pushing more towards what you're trying to manifest. You get what I'm saying? Like, that you're moving on, that you're literally moving on to a steady and reliable path. Like you want something that's going to create much more stability and much more confidence. Alchemization. It just feels like you're alchemizing pain with the star here, Ace of Pentacles, you found what the matter is. You dug into what the matter of you was, and you're beginning to heal that and alchemize this pain while you feel, how do you feel towards the masculine? Yeah, like you should begin to hold back. Like you've been too giving. What's the Four of Pentacles in reverse? How does my Taurus feminine feel? Yeah, like it's been a burden, and that you've been ignoring how you feel and things like that. You've been ignoring mentally how you feel about agreeing to certain things, or you know what I mean? Like putting yourself in community with this masculine. You get what I'm saying? Like joining yourself to this masculine type of energy. So for my divine masculines, how are you feeling about this whole situation here? How are you feeling? Like I said, for my divine masculines, you could very well tell me that there's a feminine in your life that creates a certain type of emotional stability within you that you want to learn how to appreciate. You want to show some appreciation to, but you also don't want to lead them on kind of vibe. So for my divine masculines, how are you feeling? I have the King of Wands in reverse. Yeah, you kind of feel like out of your power. This person probably takes you out of message too. This person could probably text you, or the last thing communication you had with that person may have been a text. Forgive me for my phone falling. Yeah, the Empress is here in the reverse with the Seven of Wands reverse. But you can tell me, like I said, do you feel like this person deserves a lot more than what you give them? That, you know, you want to get grounded, you want to get your money together, you want to get your stability together to really show up as a grounded individual for an Empress type of energy. You don't want to hold back anymore either, and you don't want to keep holding back from dealing with your heartache and heartbreak too that you've experienced in the past too, because you know it would be justice for this person to actually, you know how they say sometimes that men don't change because of a woman wanting them to change. It's something about a certain woman that makes them change, and you could tell me that this person has something to do with that. The way that they're emotionally stable, the way that they show up in an emotional way for you, they don't go back and forth kind of vibe. They know how they feel. It's not like no confusion when it comes to how this feminine energy feels towards you. You know for a fact that they love themselves more than anything. And I think that's what makes you terrified of this connection, because this person is grounded on her own. She's a woman holding a coin. That means her stability, the earthly material realm, everything like that, she holds on her own. So maybe that's why you don't know how to show up in an appreciative way. So what's the advice? The Six of Wands is on the bottom of the deck, and the Five of Cups reversed with the Ace of Swords reversed and the Page of Pentacles. I think the best way, right, to have a new beginning with this person in your life is to look at the silver lining of things and recognize how they already show up in your life. Like this person is creating a lot of emotional stability, right? But they feel, for my divine feminines, this masculine feels unstable. You know what I mean? It's nothing you can do as a feminine to make a man feel stable. It's just something that they have, a journey of their own that they have to go on. But understand that this masculine is impatient. Understand that even though they may not share exactly what's going on, understand that they are impatient on the journey that they're on, but they're also very grounded in their journey too, with the first chakra journey and patience card, right? So it's like they know that they want to get to a certain level of stable, and they know that you deserve a lot more than what you can, how they can show up, right? But they also know too that you are showing up consistently as the same person, but they also know too that you're turning your love into yourself, on yourself, right? For my feminine, you know, my masculines, you know, and you can feel that this divine feminine is beginning to turn her love into herself, and it's making you consider, you know what I mean? Yep, your wish fulfillment. Nine of Cups here. It's making you consider like what you can do, where it would be like, what are her wishes? You want to know what her desires are. You want to make sure that there's no competition too, divine masculine. So yeah, the advice. Let's get advice real quick. Matter of fact, I want to use the energy deck to see what energy both should be in. What energy should my divine feminine be in for my divine Taurus? Wow, victory. Feminines, you are, the spaces that you're in right now is what's going to bring you victory, actually. So staying there just like that is what's going to bring you victory. Let me get one more for the victory card. Yeah, it's cycles closing. You're completing cycles. You're walking away from things that are no longer serving you. So where you are right now is exactly where you should be. For my divine masculines, what's the advice? Continue to think on things. Get in that thinking space. Go ahead and really, really consider what you're doing. And honestly, I feel like it's confirmation that your thought process currently is the right one. The things that you're focused on. Something flipped in here too. Dorothy, personal healing and happiness. And I feel like I should keep it in the upright for my masculine energies. Yeah, because what you're thinking about in the end of the day, and listen, I'm a feminine and I've experienced a connection with a masculine that was hell-bent on creating a certain type of stability that he wanted, which kept me from being able to be in a more emotionally connected space with him. But the truth is, like, the person that he wants to be is somebody I would love even more than the person that he is right now. He's not going to be able to see how much I love him because that's not his focus. His focus is getting to a place where he's worthy of that love, right? So I love you, Taurus. Later. Hey, Virgo, what's going on? This is a energy check-in dealing with the heart chakra. Virgo, you could tell me right now that you are resisting everything that's showing up to you right now. There could be love, connections, things that would lead to the door of personal healing and happiness for you, especially a connection that you ignored. That was an offer from the divine. It could have very well been an offer from the divine, a connection, a person in your life, a person in your life that you could be mentally jealous of the way that she thinks. You know what I mean? Because of the way that she thinks, that could be like part of what kept you from seeing her for who she was. But lo and behold, this connection was somebody, this was somebody that was supposed to enlighten you, and this was an offer towards you, an offer for you. For my divine masculines, because I feel like this is a reading specifically for divine masculines. So let's go ahead and start with the divine masculine energy. How's the energy currently my divine masculines are in? That's a lot. My goodness gracious. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, you could tell me that you at one point, divine masculine, you could tell me that this person that we were talking about, you wasn't afraid of losing because you didn't really see, too much into the connection. You didn't really see this person clearly. You didn't see this person clearly. But when this person disconnected from you, I think that's when the separation became real. It says the reason it hurts so much to separate is because our souls are connected, right? So I feel like you could tell me like you're in a place now where you're just now recognizing that like you're beginning to feel maybe like a little bit of anxiety or agitation at the fact that this person thinks that they should be away from you. You get what I'm saying, Virgo? You could tell me that this person could have been a rainbow in your life. You could have told me that, yeah, like I said, you're avoiding some type of heart chakra healing anyway. You could tell me your heart has been scorned, like you really got burned real bad, and you're in a place of just like not even, you know what I mean, wanting to focus on how that shit made you feel in the end of the day, right? You could tell me that, you was more so about the next thing. You was ready for the next thing, right? You was really more so about the adventures of life and maybe more on a solo kind of tip, right? So let's see. Yeah. So that's for my divine masculines. For my feminines, if this reading is for a feminine, what energy are you in the moment? Divine feminine, you could tell me that you are, oh yeah, you want a person that's coming in reciprocating energy, right? You want a person that's literally about to be feeding all of the things in you that you are cultivating, right? You want a person who comes into your life by accident but stays on purpose. Release your worries and receive universal abundance, right? I feel like you are in a place where you're disconnected, right? And maybe that's that thought process that the masculine in your life is not so hip with. They don't like the fact that you would rather turn your sun off of them to go towards your abundance. They don't like the fact that, this is your thought process. They're actually jealous about that because they would rather you stay in this immature connection and continue to work on it instead of ending it. Feminine, right? And you are in a place where you're releasing your worries and you're ready to receive what's actually meant for you. Give me one more for my divine feminine. Yeah, you could be focusing on art. You could be a dancer, a singer. You could be into the entertainment industry in some kind of fucking way. I actually feel like you're like a painter or something dealing with art. And yeah, you're taking leaps into the unknown. You could also be like going on a spiritual journey. And I think you would tell me that you identify that this masculine is not trying to go on any type of healing. Archangel Raphael is here in reverse over top of a man holding a heart. So for my feminines, you could clearly see this masculine as somebody who is choosing to stay connected to toxic things. Somebody that's either staying connected to addictions or something like that. They could be taking a lot of energy in towards like manifesting their stability and things like that, right, Virgo? But you could also see them connected to toxic things, right? And refusing to become stable, refusing to like completely ignoring emotions and yours. You could tell me that, when you go to speak with them about things in order to manifest a more balanced connection, when you try to show up with that sun reverse, whenever you try to show up all of your light, this person's not able to see or receive that light because of the trauma and the pain that they dealt with that they're refusing to work through. They don't even see it. And look, the sun reversed twice. Yeah, this person does not have divine sight, on both ends. So let's go ahead and get the advice. This person that you're connected to is jealous of the fact that you have divine sight. They are angry about the fact that you are able to see them clearly and they cannot see you clearly. Yeah, they're angry about it. So I would definitely be careful and tread lightly with this situation, especially since they're recognizing too that you, the divine feminine, you are whole on your own, and that causes them no strength in the community because they can't access that cup. It makes them weak. It makes some type of community or something you're connected to with this person weaker. I don't know how to describe this energy because I don't know, but you are literally alchemizing the light and dark inside yourself and moving forward. You're going towards your universal abundance, and this person is not trying to deal with that. This is not something that they're happy about. They want to stop your motion. Period. I love you, Virgo. Stay safe in these streets. What's up, Capricorn? This is a general reading for the heart chakra, right? You could tell me right now you feel extremely unstable. You could tell me like you don't feel financially stable, and you also in your heart realms and your emotional places don't really feel very stable either, right? You could tell me that you are in places where you're reclaiming who you are. You are, picking up broken pieces of yourself and building a new self kind of vibe, and choosing the good, strong pieces and leaving behind the pieces that no longer fit who you want to be, right? And all of this is driven by romance. All of this is driven by a connection or the idea of a connection in your life, right? Now, divine feminines, you could tell me that you're letting things go for real, and you're not letting anything disturb your peace, and you're moving on to a steady and reliable path. You can tell me that's your focus. Like your focus is your journey, the journey that you're on, and focusing on your daughter personal healing and happiness right now, right? Like you do want to take action towards romance at the moment, but you're not quite sure if that's going to bring you the most happiness, if that's going to bring you the most joy. You're not sure because you're also nursing a broken heart with the help of angels as well. You know what I mean? Like you could definitely be in one of them places where you are just feeling unstable and feeling like maybe like being put up in competition with other women when it comes to the men that you're dealing with, right? So I think you could tell me too that divine feminine, you've had this pattern of, trying to mold yourself to be perfect for the ideal man, whereas now you're more so focused on your own personal hit. Like, what's the ideal me instead of the ideal person I would be for this person? You know what I mean? I think you're really beginning to reclaim who you are and finding a lot of abundance in that at the moment. So let's clarify daughter romance and action for my Capricorns. Yeah. You could tell me that it's just like taking action towards relationships and connections end up in a lot of hostilities and just really not fruitful. It's just not a profitable thing to go towards right now. And like I said, for whatever reason, the actions you was taking, leading with light and love, hasn't really been leading you towards what you need. You could tell me right now that you're learning how to tap into your shadow side and really give it love so that you can begin to take action in a more balanced way instead of leading so much with light and love, and that shadow side and all the pain and the trauma being in the background. I think you're balancing them out to be more in like a chariot mode where they're side by side one another and you're moving from both places in your heart. Right? Yeah, strategy. Like you're coming up with a strategy to protect yourself and protect your energy and protect what you have going on in your life right now, right? So let's see what is actually, yeah. Let's go ahead and clarify. So for my divine feminines, you are releasing things. You are going towards the most steady and reliable path. You are not letting anything disturb your peace. You're finding groundedness. You could tell me too that you're one of them feminines that has had to adopt a lot of masculinity because of the fact of that energy being missing in your life. Like either like, you know, a connection with a father or a connection with some type of divine masculine in your life that was not very fruitful for you, has caused you to then, you know, begin to become very masculine and, you know, take action towards creating stability in your life, right? You've had to jump into a lot of competitive type of fields and things like that. And you could tell me that at this time, that type of competitive energy is not something you're wanting to continue to move forward. And with the Page of Swords, like you see it, you know that it's, you know, the High Priestess and the Wheel of Fortune is here with the Eight of Cups too. Yeah, and the Ten of Wands. Yeah, like you have been through more than enough things in life. You see that the world is just a competitive way. You know what I mean? Everything is competition. Like I said, measuring yourself and trying to be a high value woman based on society's standard, that competitiveness and that kind of rate. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to compete for your divine masculine anymore. You're more so ready to focus on your own self. Yep, and create that type of stability within your own realms in your own life, right? So for my divine masculines, you could tell me too, like you in the place of reclaiming who you are right now. Like, you know, you might have met someone who you feel like is actually somebody you want to be with, but you're in a place right now where it's not the thing that is driving your happiness, that you're finding healing, and that's ushering in a lot more happiness than what you thought a connection would. You know what I mean? I feel like my Capricorn collective, even though you already are very emotionally stable and stubborn with what you believe and what you feel, you could tell me that, you know, you're no longer allowing romance to be the leading thing in your life. Like, you know what I mean? Like love and connections and romance and being with a person. Like you could tell me you're starting to reclaim your independence and no longer so codependent. You could tell me that you're filling up your cup so that you can be interdependent with someone else that has a full cup, as opposed to, you know what I mean, trying to fill missing places in your cups with someone else or fill someone else's cup. So that's what I have for you, Capricorn. Oh, let's see what the advice is. What's the advice for Capricorn? My bad. I'm sorry, Capricorn. Hanged Man, gaining a new perspective. Let's see. What's the... Yeah. Yep, drop the burden. Yeah, I mean, go ahead, continue to fill your own cup up. And don't focus so much on a counterpart kind of vibe. You know what I mean? Like, don't take yourself so seriously too, kind of vibe. Like, you know what I mean? Don't take yourself so seriously. Let go of the competitive energy towards what you want next in your life, what's going to bring that cornucopia, what's going to bring that harvest, because, and that was a message too. But yeah, like just like you're doing, focus on the journey and continue to find things that make you happy. Don't try to get abundance through doing things because you have to or because society said so. You get what I'm saying? Do what makes you happy. Activate the third chakra and study the third chakra and see ways that you can increase and amplify your third chakra. Okay, Capricorn? Love you. Bye-bye.